Good evening, my ever conscious Edo people. It is me, your brother, your friend. I am here again to discuss on issues bordering on our state and other matters arising as we go as a nation. I told you yesterday I was not supposed to be out, but I was forced to be out today, and I have to obey the voice of the general public. While we just wait for others to come, let us just press the share button, invite friends to this show as we take our national item. Thank you, guys.
The ancient city is calling. Oh, arise, sons and daughters of the land. The king of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers of labor and our time to serve is now. The glory of the new Lego nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in our nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written. Our kings have endured all times. Our people, culture, and unity. Our hearts before the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heart
I agree. Grace, I agree to Genesis.
stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Unite and stand with each other.
Just send me a message on Messenger. I can send it to you. Go on.
Together we can stand come what may. And of you.
Are we good? I greet you, sir.
Teach our children to teach their children.
This is my national anthem for the adults. Janet.
Fear and love the Creator. Only then shall we succeed. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat
Of Nigeria.
beautiful and
For play, I greet you, sir.
stars are singing
Over you.
you're the land we want to be.
It was played during the election time, just for us to know. Despite it for me. Please, let's just press the share button. Let's just press the share button.
Obaseki, Uswene Shaibu, Waswene, Fado Winefu, Uswene, when you see governor, no guy do that here we go. If you win and watch where I go, what do we never Obaseki Shaibu? Don't we get it? It's a war, it's a war. Tọ́wàgbá tó sọ ẹni ìwérago ẹ̀wọ̀n lórí nẹ́fù. Àtẹ̀bà wúniwì náà yá kẹ́ ẹ̀dọ́ mọ̀lẹ́ mi wọn àfẹ́ yóò bú yọ mẹ́. Pọ̀jẹ́ fi bọ́ ní ẹ̀yẹ̀kẹ́ o, lẹ́gẹ̀ kúrò bọ́mbà. Tó sọ ẹni ìwérago ẹ̀wọ̀n lórí nẹ́fù. Uswene Obaseki, Uswene Shaibu, Uswene Fado Winefu, Uswene Winefu, Obaseki, Winefu, Shaibu, Winefu, Obaseki, Winefu.
Please just press the share button. Press the share button.
Obaseki, Kekere, Assistant Governor Philip Shaibu, Wawese, Uswene Obaseki, Uswene Shaibu, Uswene Iweka Wagba Ete, Uswene Baba,
Yeah, guys. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen in the house. I want to appreciate you guys once again for calling in when the call came in. There are two things I want to discuss about right now. One, I got a very disturbing information yesterday that some hoodlums, were harassing our families, our mothers, our brothers, around Ekewan Road, the Hypeman, Ogida Mobile, barracks area, collecting as high as 1,500 naira from them. And I quickly alerted Abel Stone, who is in charge of the whole thing, and I told him that he needs to take action, and he promised he was going to take a very drastic action on that very particular incident. So right now, let me just see if I can be able to call Abel Stone in the next 1 minute to see if he can pick up his phone and speak to us. Just for 1 minute, let me see if I can get him in, if he can be able to pick up his phone and speak to us. Then before I go to the topic for today. I think it's not connecting. Then while I wait for him, I also got another very disturbing video that was sent to me today of a Nigerian who traveled from Nigeria who traveled from Sweden, where I live here, to Nigeria, and he was stranded. He was frustrated by the Nigerian government, and I felt so bad. when I listened to that very Iboson is not picking that I think we live in. When I listened to that very particular uh, 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 what's it called? A very particular video that the boy actually shared. I weep because I was so pissed off seeing how bad our government had become. As people who have the chance, who have the opportunity to speak to so very many people, we must condemn things that are not, good for any particular reason. I want to just bear me some few minutes of your time and listen, to the lamentation of this young man in Nigeria. Please just bear with me.
It's extortion of money at the airport. Somebody. Yeah, let's appreciate you for summoning the courage to come forward. Hold the mic, sir. Your name, sir? Take and close to you like this. Okay, Ndubisi. Take, let us hold the mic for you. Okay, which country you from? Come back.
I come from Sweden.
Sweden. Which day you come back?
I left Sweden on the night and I came into Nigeria on the 10th.
Hold this phone for me. So what thing happen for airport?
For airport, it gets from where federal government say we go fill online before we leave where we come from Europe. So when I fill that form,
Are you guys hearing him? His voice is a little bit down.
Then because of the network that is bad in Nigeria, I choose the option of paying on arrival.
Are you hearing him? Please just share this video.
Abuja here.
Abuja here. And they saw the capture, and they said I should give them my passport number. I gave them my passport number, they queued in their computer, and give me the POs that I should pay. And I brought up my ATM card. This is my Zenith Bank ATM card.
Don't worry.
And this is still the receipt.
Continue.
I paid with this card, and they debited me. I checked my
How much they debit?
42,750. They debited. I checked online. They have took the money from my account. So when I now reach they give me two options. One lab in Jabi and the other lab in Metama. So because I live close to Metama, I said, okay, let me take the one in Metama. But if you put the address of the lab in the Google, it will take you to Emma Plaza. One syndic lab in Emma Plaza. So when I get there, they said they don't know anything about what I'm talking about. I should leave their office. I was about having problem with them, but I said the Google map is showing me that this is the address. And I showed the manager of the lab. He said, yes, the Google is saying shit. So what I did that, and I came out of the place, I met one gate man. I said, please, can you direct me how to get this place? The man said I should go to this day too. I went to this day too. They say it's not there, that I should go to Ministry of Health.
Ministry of Health.
Secretariat. I went to Ministry of Health. They said I should go to one conference center. So I took the test again to that When I get to that I found the lab there. Then I told the guy, look at my receipts. I came to do the lab because they say if I don't do the lab, they will ban me from leaving the country. And I need to start work on Monday. And the guy said, okay, let him forward my information to Lagos. I gave him my information, forwarded to Lagos. We waited for that the whole day. I was sitting there with them. When the guy was closing by 4 o'clock, he couldn't give me a concrete answer. He said, Lagos have not replied. But I should go home. I went home, but was there when all of them resumed work? He said, okay, let him check the system. He said the name they gave him, that my name is not inclusive. I said, but look at he said he's seen the name that I paid, but he cannot see my name. I said, but how can? Then luckily for me, 2 people that was in that same flight with me came, and they couldn't find their name. Even my friend that came from Sweden came, he couldn't find his name. Then I asked me that if I want to do this test, I have to pay them money. And I have the information, and I paid them for 2,700 to get here. And they did the test. And this morning, I'm supposed to leave Nigeria on Saturday. And they are calling me now. They send me a message that I have to go and do that test and pay under for 7,000, for 2,300. And just from there, I had somebody calling from Turkey. I was in a taxi that the taxi man
was
saw my
listening
cry
at the station
and said that he need to bring me here. The taxi man now.
Let's appreciate the taxi man. God go bless him.
The taxi man now put the
Thank
radio
you.
And we had it. And
our people go follow you, go make we see all the money where they don't collect.
We are like two.
Now you will imagine the kind of humiliation that these stupid people that call our leaders, give to us. That is why some of us are saying APC had failed us. PDP was far better than APC, and all this bunch, of criminals should be voted out, and people that have human sympathy should be brought back to government, because government is to take care of their people. In Europe here, if you are leaving Europe for Africa, you are leaving Sweden for Nigeria, and you have 1 week in between, the COVID-19 test is free. Do you know this stupid Nigerian government says your COVID-19 test must be, I think, 72 hours or 96 hours, which is 4 days. Must be 72 hours, which is 4 days. And it is next to impossible for you to do a COVID test and get it within 3 days. If you do a COVID test, they're going to tell you it's going to take you between 5 and 7 working days to get the result. But the Nigerian government is telling you any COVID test that will be accepted on the flight for you to come to Nigeria must be between 92 hours, 96 hours and downward. What have we actually done to these people? Why do they actually hate those of us in diaspora so much so well that they do not want us to return to our fatherland? We are the ones that are paying the bills of our families. We are the ones that are bringing, shipping in so much money into the economy of that nation. Yet, anytime we are coming back or we are returning back to where we come from, they want to frustrate our efforts. Imagine this guy is not going to talk about the money. And if this guy cannot get a flight to leave today, which is Saturday, he will lose his job here in Sweden, because right now we all know in Europe and every other part of the developed world, jobs are very difficult to find because of the COVID-19 wahala. They will be forced to buy another expensive ticket to return back to Sweden. What the heck is actually wrong with the Nigerian government? Why can't we, for once in our dear life, do something meaningful for our citizens? That is why you see, anywhere you go, every country are treating Nigerian as shit. Even Ghana, Kenya, other Kenya, they treat Nigerians as shit in their country. Because we have some people who are so dumb and stupid that they don't care about the common man. Imagine how they frustrated this young guy from returning back here and continuing in his job. This is the country we live in today. Two self-centered set of people. All they think is just them, and them alone. And the question is, this money will the 5 so where will the Canada go? Where are we taking this money to? Where? Where are we carrying this wealth to where? To which place? When I watched this video, I cried for this young guy. I cried for him. I wept, knowing the frustration that this young guy has gone through. I live in Sweden. I know how difficult it is. Anybody that has a job now in Sweden, we are very careful not to make a mistake so we don't lose the job. The first time in the last 15 years that we have had a massive retracement in Sweden. Even during the 2018 economic meltdown on the entire world, it never affected this nation. It never affected this nation. The guy paid 3 times, 40-something thousand, 3 good times, and yet he's not getting the result that he wanted. 3 times. Not that the guy said I'm not paying. How, for goodness sake, how will you ask somebody to pay money at the airport and then you send him to somewhere Why not give him or just put a bus at the airport, just the way they do in most airports here in Europe? Put a bus in, put all of them inside the bus, and take them to the lab center where they will pay this money and their tests will be conducted and done there. How is this very difficult? What will it cost? Just put everybody in a bus. It said there'll be about 200 in that flight. 200 of them will be in a bus, maybe 2 buses. You drive them straight to Maitama, drop them at the place where they will do the test. Otherwise, you create, a session at the airport where this test will be conducted. We are not saying we are not paying for the COVID-19 wherever. We are ready to pay, but don't take us to that stress. Imagine this young guy just coming down from the airport because in Sweden we hardly get flights in the morning. I mean, in the daytime, we get flights early in the morning, as early as 6 o'clock. That's the flight we get. Now, it means for you to not take such a flight, you must leave home around 3 o'clock. It means you must wake up around 2. Sometimes you cannot even sleep. Okay? Because most of the time, if I am on a journey, I don't even sleep. Because I'm going to leave home 3 o'clock, I'll be scared. Maybe I will just decide to doze off now. I am gone. So I'm awake all for 2 days, no sleep. Then I will not take the flight, and when I get home to my own country, I will be humiliated by my people. What a wicked set of people. The question sometimes I normally ask is this: what is actually wrong with the black race? What is wrong with this color that we are carrying? Is the black race actually caused? Is this black race, are we actually caused? Are we? That we take delightness, we feel fulfilled, frustrating our own, and adoring foreigners. Gosh, I'm so pissed off. Listen, guys, I've been at the airport, and when I see the way they adore the white people, even the airport managers help them to carry bags. And these guys they are just adoring now are nobodies in this country. Even we that are blacks that live here, we are better than them in their own country. They give them so much unnecessary, preferential treatment, and they treat their own like shit. But come back to this white place, then the reverse is the case. Come back to Europe and America, the reverse is the case. They treat their people so well, just the way they treat us. There is no discrimination of color. Even they might be racist, but when it comes to treating us, they try to make sure that they treat us so well. But our own, they will so much, even an albino will be treated better than you because they will think it's a white man. A Lebanese man is more respected than you. A Filipino is more respected than you. Even a Vietnam man is more respected than you in your own country. Because they just have this white color, then they feel they are superior. How we did not come back to their country and begin to treat us like shit? Look at the young guy crying. An adult, a man, an adult crying, said, I will never come back to this country again. Never. Never come back. I will never come back. When he said that, I broke down in tears. Listen to him.
It's extortion of money at the airport. Somebody will come back with the direct victim. Be there here. Let's appreciate you for summoning the courage to come forward.
Nigeria on Saturday, and they are calling me. My bank said I should go to this Access Bank. I want to access, but they said they cannot help me.
Okay, thank you. Please sit down, sir. Please sit down, sir.
Please share this video.
Nigerians, now they here. Now, if these kind of people decide say they no go come back home now, we go they blame them. You said?
I won't come back.
You will come back.
I won't come back.
You will come back, sir.
You want this thing is so
Can you
tell
see
them,
that?
It's better they tell us if you're coming to the
Come on.
100 euro, we'll give them. If they're going to give us 100, we'll give them because this place are passed through since 1 week I've in Nigeria. You can't imagine it. It's not good. We have a bad name abroad. If you're coming to your country, you see first a bad name. It's not good. I don't want it to come to get a job because I'm a Nigerian. Are you getting me?
Listen, the guy is not crying about the money. He's not crying about the money. He's crying about the frustration. What this guy will not get in someone else's land. He's being treated less than a human being in his own father's land. That's his frustration, not the 90,000. Not the 90,000. Because to us, 90,000 is nothing. We give them 100 euro. 100 euro is about 45,000 naira. So 200 euro is nothing that this guy will cry over. That's the truth of the matter there. He's crying because the frustration, the lack of respect, the dehumanization is what is paining this young man. Why he's sharing so much tears. My brother, Jolly Bermuda, you don't get service for the pay. This guy paid 3 times. He paid 1, he paid 2, he paid 3. He paid to custom, no money. He went to pay again. They asked him to, he paid the 3. Yet they refused to give this guy what he wanted. If the government of Nigeria knows they cannot do this, why don't you tell us to bring the one we are bringing from Sweden or from any other part of Europe and give to them? So that we cannot go on our own and do this by ourselves. If they don't have a proper plan before they can start anything. In Romania, this poor country in Europe, if you land in Romania, the government of Romania takes you and take you to an hotel, by the side of the airport, on the government pay, for 2 weeks quarantine, on the government pay. Not on your pay, on the government pay. We are paying to, how much does it even cost, for goodness sake, to do a test, a COVID-19 test? How much does it cost to do a COVID-19 test? How much? This, you know why I brought this topic up? This is why you and I must stand up to defend, because we have no country called our own. No matter how long you've lived in another man's land, it is not your house. No matter how long you've lived in a house that is not your own, you can live there, even the man will die and hand over to his son. You will still be a tenant to the son. The son of the man you saw growing up, the son of the man that was born in your presence. You lived in the father's house, and the father now died, and the man, this son now became a man. This son now became a man, and you are still in that house. That house, you remain a servant. You remain a servant. If you like have passports, you are not part of them, you are not part of them. If they can still treat the black Americans who have nowhere they came from, they don't have any other country of origin, yet they are still be treated as a second class, citizen in America, not to talk of you that have a country of origin. May God help us. People keep quiet right now because this whole thing does not involve money. People keep quiet right now because this is not politics. People keep quiet right now because this is not affecting their brothers. Every presenter today, nobody want to talk about this. Because this is not going to put money on their table. Yes, sir, after 400 years in America, they are still being seen as strangers. So no matter how long, even your children today will be seen as foreigners in this land you live in. I'm telling you. You think I'm joking? Time will come. We all must be planning to build a country of our own, where equity, justice, and fairness shall prevail. If we keep quiet and allow these evil men to continually ride on our collective intelligence, then we are going to end up being a slave in the country where we live in. I laugh. God will help us. Okay? You saw when Barack Obama was contesting, they were saying Barack Obama is not an American. Even when the mother of Obama was an American. Because the father was from Kenya, they said Obama was not an American. When the mother was an American, they said Obama was not American. That's how bad it is. What is keeping some of you and I in this place is the law, not the people. What is keeping you and I in the country where we live in, it is the law, not the people, not the love of the people. It is the law that is on ground that is keeping us. And the time will come when a king that know not Joseph, a time will come when a Pharaoh that know not Joseph will come to the throne. Some of us will understand what some of us are saying today. My network is bad. I don't know what is wrong today right now. Are you guys hearing me? Are you hearing me, please? I'm having a failed network. Please, Facebook, let's share this video, please. This is not the topic for today, but we need to put some things straight. I'm going to deal on this topic, some other time. So let me go to why I came out today. I'm pissed off. When I'm pissed off like this, I begin to, to scream on top of my voice. We can't continue like this. Please share this video. These guys, they are inhuman, they are animals. That's why anytime I'm traveling, I don't give them money. I don't give them money. I refuse to give them money. They say, you guys from Sweden, you never give money. I don't give them money. If you like, give them your life. Give them your life. They will still treat you bad. I traveled home this January. I was home, I think January 4th, I was home. Okay? And while I was in the flight, I told the flight going to Nigeria, I said, please let us not give these guys a kobo. All of us that was in that flight, we made it compulsory because I was at the front. I stood at the front. When I got to there, anything I said, okay, nothing, no. As I said nothing, he said, go. From everybody that was following me, that was on the same flight with me, all of them were saying nothing, sir. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Because these guys, they don't deserve it. You give them today, you come back tomorrow, they treat you like shit. I beg, Mona, sorry, sorry for the outburst. Sorry for the outburst. Sorry for the outburst. When I saw that, I cried for the guy. I cried for him. I know what it takes for an adult to burst into tears in a public. A man, not a woman can cry. Woman can cry, but men is very difficult for men to cry. When you see men crying, you know the thing has gone beyond. God will help us. Yes, yesterday we Sister Janet, I don't know whether they are paying them or I don't know. They are criminals. You know, Nigeria have this mindset of get rich quick syndrome. They have this mindset of getting rich quick syndrome. It's already there. It has been magneted in their mind. You want to make money fast. That's the problem there. You see people working in NPC that receive 3 million naira in a month. They see steal. It's just a very dirty mindset. That's the truth of matter there. They want to live above their monthly salaries. We're going to start discussing these things anyways when the time comes. We're going to because that's why I said we're going to have matter arises with me. We're going to start discussing a lot of this trash that's happening in Africa, in Nigeria in particular. But let's deal with those states first so that we can be able to, start, the revolution in our state. Yes, yesterday I said I was not going to come out. My sister Janet Imaswen said, why not today? And many people say, okay, why not come out? Okay, let me come out today. We can talk about electricity. How can we increase the power generation in Edo State? In the mega manifesto of Governor Inoriasa Obaseki, making Edo great again. That's what we're going to discuss today. And like we said yesterday, security can't be 100% possible when there is no constant power generation. Most of the plans we were discussing yesterday on security, the database, the geographical plan, all these are all computer things that needed 24/7 power supply. For the people who are involved to monitor what is happening in the state. Do you know that in the Ring Road area, from Ring Road down to Airport Road, there are CCTV cameras all over the place? People don't know. From that Ring Road area, that roundabout area, through Stapler Road, down to Airport, there are CCTV cameras in all those places, monitoring what is happening within that vicinity. But at night, those things are no more visible. Not that they are still working, but their visibility is no more there because of the epic darkness that has swallowed the city. And within that time, crime can be committed and they will not be caught because their faces will not be seen, except they have to do some matching of fingerprints or whatever. Okay. So how can we now create this level of power supply in Edo State without the government not having so much to get involved? Like I said, and there is no nation in the world. One of my brother yesterday said something, I think foreplay, that they had a garment store in Benin, but is unable to continue because of lack of power supply. So we also have businesses in Edo that the business is not functioning because of lack of constant power supply. For you to not buy diesel or buy fuel to run your generator or your plant or wherever that it is. And at the end of the day, if you not check the amount you are putting into diesel, the equivalent will not be taken out of it, because the masses whom you are trying to actually, do this for cannot be able to pay again for the goods and services. That is why Edo had remained underdeveloped. That is why Nigeria has remained backwardly developed, because we have not been able to take advantage of creating a proper power supply mechanism. So today, based on the little knowledge I have been able to gather here in Europe and other parts of the world that I've traveled to, I have decided to share my own experience. And I believe that the government of Nigeria will see something from what I'm going to say now, and the government of Edo State will also see something from what I'm going to say now, and create this atmosphere for us to have, an all-through, electricity in the state and in the nation in general. No nation or state in this world can develop with poor or without proper electric power supply. The hallmark of every developing nation is the presence of steady power. The first thing that brings about development is the presence of a steady power supply. In many developed nations in Europe and America, power was actually given to state and local government to create in order to make power accessible to the common man. The first thing we want to beg the Nigerian government is to take power away from the exclusive list and bring it to the concurrent list and the residual list, whereby there will be an avenue for the private investors, not what they did with the privatization of power. No. If there to be constant power supply in Nigeria, they should do the same thing, just like what Obasanjo did to telecommunication in Nigeria in 1999, year 2000. Because the moment there is a complete privatization of power, I promise you, in 2 years, the entire nation will be lit up with electricity, constant electricity. Today, if MTN is failing you, what do? You change to Glo. If Glo fails you, you go to Airtel. If Airtel fails you, you go to the other one. If the other one fails you, you go to the other one. So you have so much options when it comes to telecommunication. The setting can be applicable to the electricity in Nigeria, vis-a-vis Edo State. Some will say it's not possible. It is. Obaseki just proved that it is possible to have a private power plant. Obaseki just proved that it is possible to have a private power plant. If the government of Edo State can do that, and now, very soon, the Oshioma power plant will be lit up, and every government parastatals and government buildings and some street lights within the Supply Road exits will be lit up, then if the government decided to create an environment that every private investors can come into power production, I tell you, you will see that the entire nation will be lit up in 2 years. Just imagine, they just gave this guy, Dangote, the license to start up a refinery. Today, Dangote is about producing 650,000 liters of fuel by the day. 650 liters of fuel by the day. 650,000 liters of fuel by the day. I'm coming. Just relax. I'm coming. I'm putting up something. You're gonna get this clearly. Neil James. Just relax. Relax. I'm gonna put it so clear that it will become easy. Okay? Now, today, because of that, very soon, if that refinery start producing, Nigeria will stop Q. They will stop the what is it called? The importation of fuel into Nigeria. Now, it doesn't also have a modular refinery to back up Dangote's supply. Then the era of fuel scarcity we go. Then the era of constant increase in the cost of petroleum will disappear. Because then there will not be a competitive market. Just like, when Glo and other came into Nigeria in the late 90s. I remember I bought a SIM card, an MTN SIM card. No, Econet. It was called Econet. An Econet SIM card. I bought it for 32,000 naira. I bought an Econet SIM card, I think in year 2000, for 32,000 naira. Econet SIM card. But today, SIM cards are they not free? My brothers and sisters, are SIM cards not free now? They are free. It costs nothing now. I think they are selling chicken for 500, 200, 1,000. What some of us bought for 30-something thousand when it first came out. That is the sense of privatization. Now, how can government do this? I said, based on my little knowledge of what is applicable here, I therefore have the following advice to give to the governor of Edo State on the issue of epileptic power supply in Edo State. Number one on my list, hear this quietly, the governor should make sure that he's not intimidated. The governor should make sure that he's not intimidated by the BEDC, Benin Electric Distribution Commission. The governor should make sure he's not intimidated by the BEDC and its clonies to make sure that they perpetually keep the state in darkness. He must make sure that he stands on the side of the people and fight this fight to a finish. I heard that Funke, who is the managing director of BDC, actually supported POI campaign with billions of naira just to remove Obaseki from office because of the Oshawa power plant that Obaseki is building. The first thing is this: the governor should make sure it's not be intimidated, not even by the federal government. Since the federal government could not provide electricity for the Edo people, the government should take it as a responsibility for the government to provide electricity, for Edo State government to provide electricity. Number two, I'm trying to water the ground. I'm trying to water the ground right now. Number two, executive laws should be enacted by the government in a way that many companies can come in and start the creation of more power supply. There should be an executive order from the state governor for power creation. There should be an executive order from the state governor on power creation. Immediately put an order. The minute that is done, then the state is at a point of getting it right. Not the governor fighting Funke alone. It should come up with his power, with his veto power. And even today, the governor had a lot of influence in the state assembly. A law should be enacted that private companies who had what it takes to create power generation in Edo State should come up with their proposals, and a memorandum of understanding should be signed between the government and the private sector, and the governor should go ahead and make the law and sign the bills into law. If this is done, then I now have number 3. So there are 4 different ways power can be generated. There are 4 different ways power can be generated. First on the list is the hydropower, which is what is obtainable in Nigeria today. The hydropower electricity, where they use water to generate electricity. Okay? And do you know one thing? Let me tell you something. How many of you know that during rainy season, we get more light in rainy season in Nigeria? How many of you know that? How many of you know during rainy season, ask them, they have more constant light in Nigeria during rainy season. Yeah. They have more constant light in Nigeria during rainy season. Do you know the reason why? Do you know the reason why? The reason is this. Do you know why they have more constant power supply in Nigeria during rainy season? When everywhere is cold, you have light. It is because the rain falls and the rivers overflow. And when the river overflow, the dam that was being created by the government, the dam that was being created by the government, there's going to be a high current because of the wave, of the sea, and because the river is so overflowing, it's going to be high current of water coming in, and that will generate electricity very fast. So during the dry season, the river dried down. And because the river dried down, the current flow to the dam is not as high as it is in the rainy season. That will eventually breaks down the constant power supply. And one of the problems of the Nigerian power one of the great problems of the Nigerian government is we don't have what we call saving ability. Africans, we are very bad at that. Many Africans are very bad at saving. Many Africans are very bad at saving. Not just the government alone, even we Africans, we are very bad at saving. Okay? Now, say where power is going from the current wave of a flowing dam created to store the current, which cannot be transmitted to electric current. The major disadvantage of this is that during dry season, the river dries up. And so when the level of the water is low, the current wave will be low, and that will eventually reduce the power supply. So this is one reason why During dry season, there is always epileptic power supply. During rainy season, when everywhere is cold that you need to take power, it doesn't matter. That's when they get more constant light. Number 4. For there to be power supply during the rainy season, the government of Nigeria should create a storing point of the electricity that have been generated. This is where we are making mistakes. In Europe, like in Sweden, that is very cold, very, very cold nation. We have winter for 6 to 7 months of the 12 months of the year. We only have summer for 2 months or 2.5 months where we have sun. Yes. But you know what they do? During that 2 months summer, they save a lot of energy for the winter period. They generate a lot of energy from all sources, and they are being saved to be distributed when the country is so cold, no sun, no heat, nothing can be done, no water, the entire river is already blocked, frozen. Then the electricity that they have saved will not be distributed to the general populace. So the government of Nigeria should start thinking, I live in Scandinavia, The government should start thinking now how we are generating a lot of current from the Kainji Dam, the Ikpova Dam, all the dams around Nigeria. What happens with all the generation, all the current electricity generated, by the government? What happened to them? That is the issue. You generate current, yet year in, year out, there is a failure. To distribute constant power supply to the Edo people. The government of Edo needs to create a storing point at every dukedom, which will be used when the weather condition is against the supply or more current for usage. With this, we can reduce epileptic power supply. Now, the one I love most is the solar power. The first one is just what the government has now. I don't give the government an advice on how they can build on it. Solar power using the sun. Do you know in Nigeria, we have sun for 12 months of the year. 12 months of the year we have sun in Nigeria. Sun, there in Nigeria. 12 months of the year we have sun. Even in the rainy season time, we have sun. It's not as dark as it is in Europe or in Sweden. No. You see, have some time that the sun will come and the rain will not fall every time. So, if that is the case, what is the state government doing about creating solar power in every dukedom? In a dukedom comprised of about 5 wards. Okay? A dukedom comprised of about 5 wards. And we have 102 wards in Edo State. Okay? Now, do you know the state government can decide to give 2 dukedoms to a company. 10 wards. 2 dukedoms to a company. 2 dukedoms to a company. So you can give 10 wards to a company. So if you give 10 wards to a company, you give 10 wards to a company, you give 10 wards to a company, then we are going to have about 20 companies running electricity in Edo State. Does that sound good now? Does it sound interesting now? So, the government now, the companies that have been given the responsibility now to create such, they will not go to the water now because the water belongs to the governor. I mean, to the federal government. But the light, the sun is for everybody. Nobody owns the sun. They will not build a gigantic building where they cannot be able to now store the solar power that will not be transmitted into electric power, electric currents that will not be usable within the area where they are now being asked to take care of. And do you not know with this, there'll be a competition? Because if I live in a dukedom and powers are not being generated, and maybe the other one is not doing well, they know if you don't do well, the government is going to take the license from you. They will do everything humanly possible to bring constant power supply. If even you not ask Nigerians to pay 5,000 naira in a month for power generation, they will pay. As far the power is 247, they are ready to pay you the 5,000 naira per month. Nobody will complain because they are not actually benefiting from the power. Some of us in Europe will pay far more than what they pay in Nigeria. But do you know why they complain? Because they pay for darkness. That's why they complain. They don't even get it half away. If they get it, will not even take their fridge. If they get, will not even carry your AC. If they get, will never carry your blender. If you have sometimes your fan, if you don't off your fan, it will blow the fan coil. If sometimes it will just come, it will scatter your bulbs, destroy your TV. You need to go and buy stabilizer. Everywhere in the house is filled with wire. Stabilizer in the parlor, stabilizer in the meter, stabilizer in the room, stabilizer in the corridor, stabilizer outside, stabilizer inside, backward, everywhere. You look as you look like where madmen are staying. Stabilizer everywhere, wire everywhere. And some of us will be very proud. So do you know how many stabilizers I have in my house? I have close to 20 stabilizers. People are now using stabilizers now to not quantify their works. With this simple thing, it ends the era of epileptic power in Nigeria, in Edo State. So second is the solar power supply. I think this is the biggest advantage that the Nigerian government can bring in private partners. This can go faster than the Ajo because it will be easier to install and supply will be very easy also. This can be made to be on every street or a unit or a ward. The state can divide into wards and then hand it over to these companies for competitive, and it will reduce price and bring effectiveness. For example, we have 102 wards, and each company is giving 5 or 10 wards. We have either 20 or 10 companies, which will become very competitive, and efficiency will come to play. The meter can still be paid as you go, just like the mobile telephone in Benin today. Okay, easy. It's simple. We are doing this today not because we are better, but we know we have little knowledge of how things are workable, and we are trying to put it before the general public. I know many people in Nigeria will not like this. Many of these politicians will not like what I'm doing now because it's not going to favor the way they think. So Obaseki can make an executive order for this to happen and redeem his name and put his name in gold. If he can create Oshomo power plant, then he can also create an avenue where solar power can be, allowed to run through every streets of Benin. The third kind is the wind power. Power from the wind. Africa also, Nigeria also, Edo also have a high windy situation. I don't know why we see this thing so, but they just overlook it. We have the wind. It's there during the rainy season. Yeah. Listen, those batteries you're talking about today, can be produced to make it work. Those batteries is not going to be in your house. It's going to be different from the way and manner it is being done, Mr. Koti. I know what I'm talking about. So I'm not here to talk trash. I know what I'm talking about. When a company takes over, they're not going to use the battery that you are thinking of. They say, in Sweden, my home, the house I live here, the house I live now, is powered by solar. So when I'm talking, I talk based on experience. The house I live in, we have 330 apartments in this building that I live in. It is powered by solar, brother. So when I talk based on experience. So you are not the one that's going to do it. A company will be given the responsibility to do that. So the company knows how to make this work. It is workable in Sweden. Then it means if people can do it here, then there are people also that can do it in that country called Nigeria. So that is my point. Okay, brother? Then we have the wind power. I said Africa and Nigeria in particular had the highest wind blowing in the world. Countries who had 6 to 7 months of winter still operate on wind power, not to talk of a nation or state that has it in abundance. The same approach being used on the solar can also be used for the wind power. The only thing I will add to this is that the wind poles used to generate the electricity can be put on the roads and streets and make them to generate light even at night while power are being generated for usage at our homes. Okoti, are you listening to me? Do you understand what I'm saying at all? When you do it yourself, it becomes very expensive. Okay? I have it. When you do it on your own, it becomes very expensive because that is one man running it. But when the state or a company is not running it, when a company is not running it, then what you buy with your money for 1.5 million, it will be less, to be cheaper for you to generate 4 AO streets. So I talk based on experience, brother. It is good that sometimes we try to listen than we just continually say things. Okay? It reduces the cost. When you do it alone, it's expensive. But when it becomes a company thing, it is cheaper. It's just like when you have a farm, a poultry farm of 1,000 birds, it costs you more than when you have a poultry farm of 10,000 birds. That's how it is. Okay? When you have a farm of 1,000 birds, it's more expensive to run than when you have a farm of 10,000 birds on average cost. So if you do it alone, it's expensive. If the company does it, it's cheaper. I beg this what is it? This Okotie of a guy. I don't even know what you're talking. Please, I don't want to get involved with you. If you don't want to listen here, please, you can get off my wall, please, or I'm going to send you out. This we have done with politics now. We are trying to bring betterness to Edo State. If you don't listen, please get off my wall. Please don't distract me anymore. So if you don't want to be on the path of progress, politics is gone. You are APC. I don't know why these APC guys, they are so dumb. They don't want to listen. This guy is gone. Please, I don't want anybody to distract me. I want to focus on what I'm saying now. Election is gone, so we are done with the election. Please, guy, you off my wall. Sorry, guys. You are saying there's no wheat in Nigeria. All those what is it called? What is this one called? The one Caesar. The one they call it Caesar. Do you want to call it Caesar? Do you know the amount of current that very particular wind produced at a go? That wind we call the Caesar. Do you know the particular current it produced at a go? If you don't understand things, you listen. That's why sometimes we Africans, we make a lot of mistakes. We don't want to listen. We argue blindly when we just have to listen before throwing your question. Most of the time, we talk before we think. That's why we are not progressing. Brothers, the solar, let me tell you the wind that he's talking about now. Now, do you know when you are driving a car? Hello? Do you know when you are driving a car, there's great wind coming out? How many of you know that? How many of you know that?
With the next level. Thank you, Jesus, for giving us the governor of the people. Because in our budget.
How many of you know that? Do you know that when you're driving a car, there's a great wind coming out of it? A very great wind blowing. That wind can actually blow the fans that you are put. That's why I said you put it on the road. Guys, I am not a dummy. So I know everything I talk, I know what I'm talking about. So when you put those fans on the road and the car is moving, it blows it in America. They put this wind in very close to the river. Yes. They put it on the road. Then when the car moves, the wind, the fan who helps to generate this electricity moves with the wind of the car. And that eventually creates wind for them. Where they don't have the wind, not talking about a nation that like Nigeria, where there is much wind to help us blow these fans to create this level of energy that we needed. So when somebody talks, sometimes we just need to listen. Then when you listen, then you not decide to start asking questions, not just going out of place saying there's no wind in Africa. If there's wind, why? Say if there's wind, why is the fan blowing heat? You say if there is wind, why is the fan blowing heat? God of Israel. If there is wind, why is the fan blowing heat? Jesus. Oh, I don't die, I don't suffer. If there is wind, why is the fan blowing heat? Seriously? Let's go on. When you have that, when that one is, it will still be the same way. Whereby it can be divided into dukedoms for these companies to come and manage. With this can help in also creating constant electric power supply. The fourth way of generating electricity is the use of waste products. The use of waste products. It's surprising right now. Do you know this, particularly the edibles? Edibles, things that can easily decay, like foodstuffs, like some meat, food that you throw off, the pills from food you throw off, this can actually be used for power generation. In Sweden, in the company where I work, like I said, I was telling Sister Janet now that I'm a chef, I'm a cook. You know, I work in a very big hotel here in Sweden. I work in Scandic Hotel. You know, I've been a cook for over 14 years. You know, I'm a very good cook anyways. I cook anything cookable. Cook everything. Very soon I will start teaching people how to cook online in this very particular platform. You know, how to cook some very nice and delicious meals. Okay, not African, professional ones. You know, how to make some ice cream and all these things. You know, we'll start doing it with time. You know, when we are done with all these many things that we are not doing, we'll not go to that one so we can be able to help ourselves also and train people to become something better in life. That is what I'm up for. Now, in my company, when we cook food, you know, maybe we grind, we have let's say meat, we put fish, you know, I know that we cut off that we're going to throw away. We take off the skin of the meat. We take off the skin. Then we'll not take those one we are going to throw away. We put it into a machine, and the moment we put it in the machine grinded that thing immediately. And the moment you grind it, there is a power generation immediately that help to power the building. That building is a 15-story building that help to power the building. That's what they do there. And also, I went somewhere where I was able to see where they actually, you know, recycle waste products here in Sweden. I don't eat, Sister Jennifer. I don't eat. That's my problem. I don't eat. You know, that's why I'm not fat. I don't eat at all. I'm very careful. No, so I'm a guy that fasts a lot. I'm very good in fasting. You know, sometimes I eat once a day. You know, maximum twice a day. That's as much I can do. And I mind what I eat. I mind what I drink also. You know, so when I went to this place, I saw these guys. What they did was when they bring these dustbins to this place, they first sort it out. The plastic they put it on one side, the broken bottles they put on one side, those then the papers they put on one side, then those food products, they will not just take the food into a machine, and the machine will just grind the food. And when the machine grinds food, you will see some sound. If you go close to power line, if you go close to power line, they know there's a sound that it makes, like people that have been very close to power line. You know, there's kind of sound the power line makes, like so you're going to hear that sound coming out. And at that point in time, why they do that, there are machines that have to now, you know, to not change the what's it called? Yes, organic ma. They will not change the food that is being grounded now into electricity. They will just store it and immediately be transferred to the government. And we have enough. We have markets all over Edo State. Market full everywhere. Where did they throw away food like say tomorrow, not day? So these people don't even need to even worry about what they go use to generate the light. It's also in UK. I mean, if you know Baba Rest TV on YouTube. I'm gonna follow Baba Rest on YouTube. If you follow Baba Rest, just say yes. I'm gonna follow Baba Rest. No, sir, Rest. This Benny boy, this Hollywood actor on YouTube. If you've not followed him before, you try to follow him. There was one of the video he did on this very particular what's it called? A program. He did that. He did an advert for this company in London. I know one in Sweden here. He did one also in London, where you can use waste product to generate electricity. The government of Edo State should come to Sweden. The government of Edo State should go to London. He should go and talk to those boys in London. He should go and talk to those boys in Sweden. Thank you, Organic Gas. God bless you. You should go and talk to them. And tell them, oh, I beg. And heard this in his ear. How are we going to do it? They will have an MOU. These people will come down to Edo State and build a massive site whereby they will start recycling all this product, and light will become the order of the day in Nigeria, in Edo State. This is unworkable. We get everything we can use. So I have already atomized 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 different ways in which we can generate power. And each of these 4, we have them in abundance. And I don't know why Nigerians go to the one that is more difficult. They're using water and gas. They only do those things that is very, very difficult to deal with. The easy one, they will leave them. They'll go and be working with the very complicated ones. I don't know. They are only dealing with natural gas and water. This one is what they will use to, they will dig. Ah, look at waste. Go to the Benin market. You go see many obolo. You go see many fish wey don spoil. You go see many vegetables. Everything go full everywhere. They go pack, take produce light. No, they no go do am. They go they dig ground, they look for oil. We don't have to get gas, take do am. They cost us. And do you know about this organic? The major thing about this organic is this. This organic, electricity. Do you know what the most important thing is this thing also creates a job. You get power, you're going to create jobs. More jobs than the other 3 that I've listed. You're going to create more jobs. One, you're going to create street policing. Street policing. People will now have to now start monitoring people who are not doing what the government asks them to do. We will not create people that will not be taking those debt, those wastage from the point on the street to the site. On the site, you now have people that are going to sort it out with the help of the machine. We will not sort out the ones that is not, organic, that is not edible, that cannot be grounded. Then people will not use that. Before, people that are not operating the machine, that will not also create the electricity. You will see at the end of the day, there's going to be a chain of jobs creation if the government decide to go to this path. Number 2, do you know that with this, the government can also bring sanity and cleanliness to Edo State? Yes. 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 Because then, if it's not usable, because there's not a law, if you not throw debt somewhere, you will be caught by the police that have been set to not look after it, and you'll be judged in the court, and the fine will be placed on you. Okay, the street will be clean. By cleaning the street, you are creating jobs. By creating jobs, you are also creating power supply for more companies to come into your state. And you also know, here in Sweden and also in Germany, because I was in Germany some time ago, I was in Italy some time ago, in Italy. And I got something. I bought a drink. And on the drink, there is where you need to, when you finish drinking that very particular can, you need to take it back. Because when you are paying, like in Sweden, let me use Sweden for example. In every can of drink you get, you pay 1 cent. No, 10 cents. You pay 10 cents, which is one crown. You pay 10 cents, which is 1 crown, on every can of drink. If the drink costs 20 crowns, you pay 1 crown more, it will be 21 crown. The 1 crown you pay on it is for the can. So if you finish drinking your drink, maybe it's cola or whatever, and you throw the can away, I'm going to come behind you and pick up the can. Do you know why? Because it is 1 crown. If I pick up 100, I've already gotten 10 euros, which is on the crown. Okay? It's 10 euros, which is called 100 crowns. So, if the government will not make such a law also, that every drink that is coming into Benin, when you are buying a drink from a candidate, a customer, whatever, there should be a tag on it. That tag that's been placed on it maybe can be 1 naira on each drink. If you're buying a drink for, let's say, for 200 naira, you not pay maybe 10 naira on it, or 1 naira on it, or 2 naira, depend on whatever. So that you don't just throw away the can, you will not pack this can and keep in your house. Then when the can is not about it to another bottle of mineral or beer, you cannot go back to that place. Give it to the woman, then the woman will not give you money or give you drink for it. Or you cannot create a place, then this woman cannot take these things now to the government, to the recycling company, who will now recycle these things. There are ways, easy things that the government will not spend so much, but rather they will create job, make more money from the system. Like I said, how can Edo state government put up laws to stop the train of waste products on our gutters and streets and the eradication of burning of waste? The waste product power generation company should be given 2 jobs to do. First, clean up the environment by making sure waste and dirt are taken away from our streets. Secondly, every street will get a metal waste bin, which might be spread on the street depending on how long the street is, and they can be colored to show what should be thrown inside. For example, we can have blue for edible products, the one we call organic waste, green for plastic, maybe red for cartons, red for cartons. So when such waste bin are now being put on that street, the people that will walk and monitor it will be from that street for effective policing. The houses on the street will be asked to pay token for waste management, and such revenue will be used to pay the workers who are actually doing the job. It be no Prince. I know some of these things are already there, but these things are not being used to create power generation. Okay, that's what we are saying now. We want the government to get involved in this so that there can be power generation through this means. They take the dirt now, they don't recycle it. They just go and dump it somewhere. No, we don't want that, because those lands will be needed tomorrow. And because of these things, some of these things are not decayable. like the cans, like the bottles, like the plastics, they are not decayable. And because they are not decayable, we are also destroying the land where these things are not being dumped. So what we are telling the government is the government cannot make a U-turn. Instead of dumping this as a waste, this thing cannot be used in creating another form of power generation. So that's what we are trying to say now. Because right now in Edo, in Nigeria, they throw all these things together. So it makes it difficult in others to separate. So to make it easier, they cannot make it colored that every wherever dustbin will not have a color that not shows what should be dropped inside. Okay, so we can also create recycling companies where some waste can be recycled, like plastic, cans, bottles, etc. The government can then put a law that every company manufacturing canned drinks in Edo State must have an identity number on their drinks, which will be used by the seller to sell, and the buyer will pay a token of, say, ₦1 on each can of drink bought. And when they are done, they can return all the cans to the seller, who will in turn return it to the manufacturer to get our money back. If the buyer feels the money was too small, someone else will do this cleaning for them and get the money. So these are just things that I feel can be helpful in creating more level of electricity in the country called Nigeria. These are my opinions. These are my suggestions. It is not binding on the government, but I'm only just advising. It will help in creating a level of cleanliness and power supply to the states whereby job creation can increase. Job will not increase until people are now given the opportunity to have job to be created. That's the truth of matter there. We can pray from today to tomorrow. Job cannot be created unless we are ready to now have, the job creation be put in place.
Bluetooth mode.
Okay. That's the truth of the matter there. Yeah, hello. Hello. Yeah, hello. Yeah, I'm on live now. I want you to talk to the people. Yeah, this is a Boston online. I told you that some people are going around collecting money from our drivers, our brothers and sisters within Kenwan Road, Eyaekpe, and the Ogida Barrack area. So Boston is online now. I want to speak. Boston, continue.
Yeah, my brother, good evening.
Good evening.
My people, the surveillance all over the world, good evening to every one of you. My brother, Mr. Steve, told me something yesterday about what is going on in our dear state, Benin City particularly. He said at the Kenwan Road that some people are collecting money. So I want to use this medium to appeal to the public that whenever they see such things, we don't accept anything called Akberu for them to come back to the streets again. Anybody that you see collecting money, it's illegal. The governor is not aware, the government is not aware. Maybe because they took the advantage of the election, that's why they went there. Please, I want to beg every one of us, if you see anything of them like that, collecting money or oppressing our mother or our father, call us so that we'll call on the people arrested. So when he told me yesterday, I told him when he's alive today, he should call me so that I should contribute my own quota. But for that yesterday that he told me, I told the SSA to the governor on security matter. So he has made a plan by Monday, by God's grace. The And we will go there and find out if truly that there's anybody collecting money there. And we'll get them arrested and we'll pursue them by the grace of God. Thank you, Mr. Steve.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, God bless you.
Okay. So that so I just have to put him online so that you people hear him very well. The government of Obaseki is not aware of that, and anyone that if you see them, please. I left his number on my wall yesterday. I can call Abel's phone number for you right now. If you want to get his number, I can call his number for you so that in case you get any such information, you just get across to him immediately. Okay. Abel's phone number is 070 364 96219. 070 364 96219. That is his number. So you just call him and actions will be taken immediately to arrest such perpetrators. Okay? Thank you, guys. I don't know if there is any contribution. You can just call in now. Any contribution on this? If not, then we can just call it a day and have a blessed day. Yeah, Eboso is an SSA to the governor, and is the head of those people of this POWO. When they call POWO, you know POWO now. The one that government actually gave the power to collect revenue from our mothers, not these people who are now trying to take advantage of the election period and begin to harass our mothers and fathers on the street of Benin. So we want to make sure that we don't allow that to ever happen again. Agbero will never return to Edo State for whatsoever reason. The government has already said that every revenue collection will be done professionally and will be done according to the government instructions and rules. The rules was there are tickets that you need to get from the government, and the highest you pay in a day, I think, is about 100 naira or 50 naira. So, but these guys were collecting as high as 1,000. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm planning for. Oekwase. That's my reason why I have to put him on notice so that they can catch them and take them to court, judge them, and throw them into a prison where they will go and serve at least 6 months or 7 months, of imprisonment with very hard labor. They'll be taking them to France to go and work for free for the government. Just that Nigerian government doesn't know how to use criminals, and I'm telling you. That's the reason why, because the Nigerian government doesn't know how to deal with criminals. You create farm and put them in, they will work and tire. When they work all the and pee finish, next time they will know how to stay for their house and avoid crime. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for today. We'll see you again on Monday while we continue, in this very particular series and believing God for what God can do for us. Thank you, guys, and have a blessed and a wonderful day. Yeah, clean our gutter.
Edo must move forward. Move forward. Backward never.
Yeah, Janet, what are you going to say? Just say it. What are you saying? Janet, write it now. Auntie Janet, please, what are you saying? I'm waiting, oh. Yeah. The moment the government agrees to do the identification number, like we discussed yesterday on security, then every Edo like to have an ID card. The number we discussed yesterday, then every Edo will not be forced to have an identical number, because it will be on your ID, like we have in Europe now, that number will not be put on. Okay, so that is part of the plan. The moment the government accept this very particular deal we are talking about, then these things will become reality. That's it. That's the truth. Okay.
Edo must move forward.
Thank you, guys.
I could never. Move forward. I could never.
The next level.
Thank
you, Jesus, for giving us the governor of the people.
Hello. Yeah, don't.
Is it necessary again for those states to have their own state ID? Because it's going to be everybody's compulsory to have that ID in case whatever you are doing, you will use that ID to transact any transaction you are doing, just like the way it is in Europe. Like here in Ireland, we have what they call PPS number, which is personal public number. Whatever you are doing with the government, you use this number, not private sectors like banks. No, you don't use it for the bank. But anything you want to do with the government, like police, government offices, health sectors, you use these numbers. Like your vehicle, your driving license, you use this ID number, so that when there is anything wrong, they just type in your details, or they ask you what is your ID number. They put it on the system, everything will pop out.
Hello.
The next level.
Yes, hello. 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 So, guys, have a nice night.
I never, never,